There's a great verse that we find in Zephaniah 3:17 where it talks about a God, a good dad who delights in us, who rejoices over us. Then it talks about him quieting us with his love. And a number of thoughts came into my mind as I was thinking about that verse. He delights in us. I think many of us think maybe that God puts up with us sometimes. That because he made us, that we are his children, we're sons and daughters of him. Yes, that is true. But I think many of us don't enter into the reality and the joy and the freedom of verses like those. Because we think that he kind of just puts up with us. Maybe for whatever reason, maybe because of our upbringing, our parents, we felt often just put up with us. We were like an annoyance in the family sometimes. But it says here, he delights in us. He rejoices over us. He's so excited. It might sound sacrilegious, but I kind of imagine like a child who at Christmas comes to the Christmas tree on Christmas Day and sees a present, and he's just so excited, ripping the wrapping paper off. Because he's like, wow. And in the same way, God delights over us. He's excited about us because he really sees the value of who we are. I think sometimes we underestimate our value, our uniqueness, our creativeness in the image of God. Only somebody who really knows the value of something can appreciate it. It's like some of these experts on these antique programs. I might look at a painting and think, well, that looks kind of interesting and nice, but because they see the signature, because they know who did the painting, they can really appreciate the value of it, the technique, the beauty of it that I can't. And because of that insight, because of that understanding that only God truly can have, does he look at us and say, you are amazing. I rejoice over you. I'm so excited about you. Yes, you. There might be, 7, 8 billion people, but at this moment in time, I'm rejoicing. I'm singing over you. I sometimes wonder why he is singing over me. I'm sure he has a unique song for me. I heard a story recently, I must look it up to see if it's true, but of an African village where when a child is born, the community gathers together and they write a unique song just for that person. And then if that person, for whatever reason, one day brings dishonor, brings shame upon the village, the way they handle that situation is they bring that person into the middle and then they begin to sing over them their song. And I think God does that. He has a unique song for you, which calls forth who you truly are, which calls forth all those plans to give you a hope in the future, who sees you as you truly are, but knows what you can truly become. And he sings that song over us. When we're in our place of maybe deepest shame, greatest disappointment, greatest frustration with ourselves, where we've ended up, what does he do? He comes and he sings over us. Let us hear those songs today. We hear so many other songs, things that are trying to shape our minds and the way we do life. They're trying to shape our values and our perspectives. And we can't live up to those songs. We can't live up to those expectations. But the songs that God is singing over us, we can live up to. Because he sees us as we truly are. He knows what we're capable of. And he sings that over us. Maybe just take a moment as this video continues. Maybe when you press pause or at the end of it. And still yourself. Quieten your mind, bring your focus in on God. One of the easiest ways maybe is just to use that verse. Close your mind and just go, He delights over me. He rejoices over me. You can put your name in. God delights over Paul. God rejoices over Paul. Particularly important if you were brought up in an environment, a situation where maybe you weren't delighted in or you weren't rejoiced over. Maybe it wasn't vocally said because it wasn't a thing to do. In those situations, particularly, we need to hear that He's rejoicing over us. Not just with a quiet voice, not with kind of like an embarrassing voice, but He's yelling out loudly, I love this one. This one's amazing. This one's fantastic. He is rejoicing over us today.